NCAA. Coach, just your thoughts on it.
I mean, everybody that you would potentially play in the NCAA tournament is a really good team. That's why they're in this tournament. So certainly Illinois, really well coached. Some guys that we've played before, like Terrence Shannon, who was at Texas Tech, and obviously Matthew Mayer, who played at Baylor. They got some really good transfers, and it's an excellent shot blocking team. But anybody out of the Big Ten that qualifies for the NCAA tournament's a really good team.
How do you feel about Des Moines after getting sent to Buffalo last year?
I mean, obviously Des Moines is close for our fan base. Probably would have been the closest site that our fans could have. I've been there before. I mean, it's really about being in your hotel room and playing in an environment that should be a sold out building, and close enough for both fan bases to make their way to Des Moines.
Eric, what do you remember about Terrence Shannon? What do you like about his game?
Yeah, I mean, Terrence Shannon, he's just so versatile. He's lefty, can score at many different levels. He's one of the best athletes in college basketball. He can attack the rim. He can beat people off the bounce. Excellent transition player. Has had a really, really good year for them.
Coach, you talk about just how difficult it is to get to this point in the season, to see the name pop up on the screen there probably never gets old. Just describe the feeling.
Yeah, I don't think that unless you coached or played in the NCAA, I don't think you really know how hard it is to make this tournament. You can look when the brackets are finished at all the great programs and all the teams with a lot of talent that aren't in this tournament. So it's a hard one to get into, and it should never get old for any coach. It should never get old for any family member of a coaching family, and it certainly shouldn't get old for any player. So I think that we knew we were in the tournament based on the body of work that we did over the course of an entire college season. Our staff did a great job with non-conference schedule, because without our non-conference schedule, that really, really helped position us not only to be in the tournament, but to be an 8 seed rather than maybe a lower seed than that. So a lot of work in the middle of the summer, a lot of people wondering when our schedule was coming out. We were one of the last teams in college basketball to put a schedule out. But there's a rhyme and reason for why you want to play people that you think can have good overall seasons, and we were able to do that with teams like South Dakota State and Bradley and some teams like that, Fordham that had great seasons, UNC Asheville that won their league. So a lot of work goes into making a tournament. It's not just from November till today. It's a lot of stuff that happens in the summer too.
Obviously, a lot of SEC teams got in. You played the top half of the league probably more than anybody, maybe you and Auburn. But how do you think that helped? And what did you think of the league getting that many teams in? And how do you think that helps everybody in the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, the level just keeps, the talent level of players, the coaching level, the fan bases. I mean, this year's the biggest crowds that I've seen since I've been in the SEC. When we went on the road, almost every building that we played in on the road was sold out, with maybe the exception of South Carolina. So the fan base, everything in this league is, and then you look at our schedule overall in the SEC. It was as difficult as any conference schedule in all of college basketball, and then you add in the fact who we played at the end. Really hard games, even the 2 games that we played in the SEC tournament. I mean, we played 2 teams that are now in the NCAA tournament. So our team's been challenged all year, and we'll be challenged against a team like Illinois as well.
I think about half of your overall games were NCAA tournament teams.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's I haven't done it in a long time, but in the 8 years that I've done it, it's by far the most difficult schedule, not even close to any other year that I've been doing this. And then you add in the injuries. Really proud of what our guys have, how they've stuck together. We've lost a lot of the games that we have lost, a lot of close games. There has not been many games where we've been out of games, and over the course of 30 games, every team in the country almost has 1 or 2 games where, you don't play very well and there's double-digit margins. We had a few this year as well, but for the most part, you look at the 30-game body of work, we were in every single game we played almost.
Coach, noticed Anthony was in a boot. Is he okay? Is that just precautionary?
Yeah, I mean, he's in a boot, and he'll get rehab today, and that'll be between him and the trainer.
You feel good he'll be ready to play?
Yeah, I hope so. No real past other than just kind of watching his teams and understanding that his teams play with toughness. The Big Ten is a very, very physical league. A lot of close games, obviously, in the Big Ten, and so they've been tested throughout the course of the season as well. But we'll leave here right now and start our breakdown with our coaching staff on their style and what they do offensively, defensively, what they do with special teams on side out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, and then we'll try to start formulating a game plan tonight.
You talked the other night about how that loss really stung and you really weren't going to start thinking about the NCAA tournament. You found out who you were playing, where you're going, but I would think it's just, hey, this thing is gone now and you're looking forward. Kind of what's your attitude? What do you think the team's attitude is?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's, the only thing we're worried about is Illinois, and we've talked about our schedule. We've talked about, hey, the goal was to make the NCAA tournament, try to get as good a seed as we possibly could. Through the 30 games, we're in an 8-9 game, and now we got to just get ready for Illinois.
You feel like that's a fair seed? That's just, everybody seemed to project you.
Yeah, I think that as we've talked, I mean, Coach Ruda and I and most of the staff were in the office all morning. Illinois was a team that we felt, there was 2 teams, Illinois being one team and another team that we felt we could possibly play. We felt, best case scenario, if the injuries and everything were talked about and discussed in all the close games, we felt best case would probably be a 7 and worst case would probably be a 9. So I think that the 8 seed is very fair, and that's what we played our way into. And so now you got to go try to win an 8-9 game.
Who was the other team you thought?
It's not worth saying.
Yeah, how good is it? I mean, you always give Ruda credit, or maybe it's the whole staff for kind of figuring out it might be ABC. And I mean, so have you guys already gotten a head start on Illinois?
I got the depth chart. I got the highlighted box score. So conference box score. So yeah, some of us have been meeting for a long time this morning.
Anything else for Coach? All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks.